As you guys know, I'm out of town this week, but I've assembled a series of videos and some other material to cover our class for this evening. You can go ahead and play this after you play this introductory video. You can step through those and you'll see the material that we wanted to cover for today. I'm going to go over there now into sessions, as you can do as well. And I'll go into our currently available session 2 for today, June 3rd. Okay, so I've assembled these in an order that makes some sense to me, but you can actually view them in any order that you feel most comfortable. Okay, for starters, I have a suggested reading section in the textbook, 1.6 to 1.9, chapter 1. That'll cover a lot of the material on descriptive statistics, particularly where it concerns numerical variables. So I'd give you a little bit of an introduction from a text on that material. Okay, then there is a video that I've posted here, which is an introduction to inference, statistical inference, and to study design. Okay, we're not going to be concentrating on that too much on the assignments, particularly this week's assignment for now, but I thought it might be a good time for you to get a look at that. Okay, but if you want to skip past that, maybe go that to the end when you have a little bit more time. That might be a little bit more convenient for you because it doesn't directly impact what you're going to have to do on the first assignment. The next video that's on here is a lecture on descriptive statistics and some basics in terms of how we interpret data, how we look at samples and populations. I'm going to quickly open PDF file that goes with it, actually PowerPoint that goes with it. And you can see this is by Professor Waldron. It goes through nominal data, categorical data. These are terms we introduced during our first session. Okay, and it describes the difference between a population and a sample, and how we describe those. It describes different graphical ways of displaying information, such as histograms and box plots and so on and so forth, and some definitions for how data is displayed or distributed. Okay, and it'll give you some other information as well. So this might be a good introduction to our first look at descriptive statistics. You remember some of these terms probably, those of you that were present during the first session on last week on Wednesday. I also have posted a video for the first session, that a recording of the first session that you can view as well if you want to review it, or if you weren't able to make the class on the first session. And it describes some of the properties of some of the different statistics that we'll be working with. Okay, so you can go through that. That's a lecture portion. Okay, and then after you've completed that, or again, you can go through in any direction you want to, there is a laboratory, a series of exercises that I put together, give this a recording again, of using Excel and SPSS to understand, organize, and display descriptive statistics. Again, this is a little bit of a longer video, but I've annotated it so if you want to go directly to a specific spot, for instance, a lot of this involves using SPSS and Excel to do descriptive statistics. If you want to fast forward to a certain spot using, if you want to know about the displaying nominal data, categorical data, and using SPSS, you can fast forward to that and so on. But you really should consider watching through the whole thing. And so look through that, go through these videos and so on. And then by tomorrow morning, I will have posted assignment 1. And I think you'll have the tools to complete assignment 1 pretty easily. The only caveat is that the last few questions are going to require that you have access to Excel and to SPSS. You guys can access SPSS at a relatively low cost. The least expensive 6-month version is all you'll need for this particular course. You can download it. You'll also get a license to operate it. The license can be for 6 months or for 12 months. For our course, of course, 6 months is plenty. If you're considering taking other courses that may use it, you may want a longer license. So for our course, the cheapest version of it, which is probably around $35 or $40, will be adequate. The only downside is that does not have logistic regression. We're only going to be introducing that in this course, not using SPSS very much to with problems for it. So you won't particularly need it. If you really decide you want to play around with it, you can get the slightly more expensive version, the Grad Pack standard version instead of base version. You can get that slightly more expensive version, which will have it, or you can use the computers at school to play around with it as well. Okay, so I will make sure that assignment 1 is posted, that you can get to it. And remember that I encourage you to, even if you don't have SPSS available, even if you're struggling with it, do as much of it as you can and submit the assignment. As long as you submit the assignment before the due date's going to be a week from Monday. As long as you submit the assignment a week from today, that is, as long as you submit it before it's due, you will have the opportunity to go back anytime you want and reattempt the homework. Okay, so there's no reason not to submit it, even if you don't have access to SPSS and can't do every problem in the homework. So give it a shot early, give it a try, submit it. You can always go back. Even this week, you can go back and try it again. There's unlimited number of tries as long as you submit before the due date, at least one attempt before the due dates. No reason not to give it a try, and no reason not to attempt to keep up with this course. Okay, if you have questions, you know how to get in touch with me. You have my email address. You're encouraged also to post to the discussions board, okay, where you can, our first assignment is for you to tell us something about yourself, or just post a hello or something like that, so we know that you have access to the discussions forums, and that you know how to post a new thread and to reply to a thread. So keep that in mind as well. If you have a problem with SPSS installing it or getting access to it, you can post it in this forum over here on SPSS purchase and download, and you can get some help from your fellow students and maybe from me as well if they don't get to it first. Okay, so I will post and I'll put another forum up here for assignment 1. If there's any questions or problems with it, you'll be able to post some questions there. Or again, you can email me. I would prefer use the discussions board for a couple of reasons. One is you're probably going to have the same issues that many other students are going to have. So if we all exchange information on the discussions board, we're all sharing it. So no one gets deprived of any information that someone else has, number one. And number two, you know, when we put our heads together, it's always a better thing. And you can also consider the fact that since this is an online course, it's very difficult for me at the end of the semester to make a judgment about the proportion of the grade that's a participation grade. And it helps for me to see you've been interactive on the discussions forum, because then I know you really participated in the course. So I'm looking forward to seeing you online on Wednesday at 5:30. I will be broadcasting live then for at least an hour or so, and also posting some other materials as well. And you'll see me in person if you feel like showing up to the classroom next week on Monday and Wednesday, as I will be for the rest of the semester, in room C09 at Silberman on 119th Street and 3rd Avenue. Okay, so in the meantime, keep up with the work. Don't let the fact that I'm not standing over your shoulder, looking over your shoulder, allow you to let things slip. Keep up with the work, watch the videos, and we'll be talking again on Wednesday in person. If you tune in, you can of course watch the recording of that time shifted. Oh, by the way, if you missed the first session is now available under recordings. So here's our first session. It's a rather long recording. I didn't edit it down, so it's literally everything that took place during that 2 hours and 30 minutes in the course. There are going to be some dead areas where we watched a in-class video, like that Hans Rosling video, when we took breaks and so on and so forth. You can just simply scrub through those if they're not going to be constructive for you. But you can literally watch everything we did during that first session. All of the videos for all of our sessions, live sessions this semester, will be posted in this same spot under recordings, as will any extra review sessions that we have during the course of the semester. So have a good day. And I'll talk to you on Wednesday at 5:30 live online, if you can make it, or time shifted if you prefer to watch the recording.